back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Debbie Ibirika, and you're welcome to another movie review. I think that the last time we did a movie review on this channel was Gang of Lagos. I don't know if any other scintillating movie has come out since then. That's a Nigerian movie that I've cared about. I don't think so. If you remember anyone, please drop it in the comment section. But today we are here to talk about the infamous but extremely famous Black Book. But before we get right into this video, let us watch the trailer.
I sinned terribly in my past. God took away my son to punish me. I accept.
You are the father of a dangerous criminal.
But accusing my son of what he is not, that I cannot accept.
Get out of the fucking car now!
Do you know what you have done?
Why do you know so much yet say so little? I mean, who are you?
There are some grudges that should be taken to the grave.
You forget you do not have full control. Right now, you don't have full control. Now, which one of you killed my son?
So guys, from the trailer you can see that this movie is packed. Like, the action is actually, I know what I always tell you guys about trailers. Do not ever base your expectations of a movie on by watching the trailer, because more often than not they pick all the juicy parts for like 1 second, fuse it together, and you're like, if I don't watch this movie, I'm gonna cool. So before I get started, let's talk about the cast on Black Book. So I have my phone here on Netflix, so I can just read out the cast for you. The person that actually made me go watch this movie, because I didn't even see the trailer until after I had watched the movie, was Richard Mofe-Damijo, because for some weird reason, every young girl has a huge, intense crush on Richard Mofe-Damijo, RMD. If you don't have a crush on him, are you a Nigerian girl? Do you get me? After I saw him in Fine Wine, the love I had for him just tripled like by 100. So Richard Mofe-Damijo was the main character. There was Ade Laoye. I have seen Ade Laoye in this movie. What movie was that? She was also working for like an advertising agency. Why can't I remember the name of the movie? Because I think I did a movie review on that as well. That movie where this lady that has just died, that not just died, where she had Naija Christmas. Yes, she was in Naija Christmas. Ade Laoye, Sam Dede. I haven't seen Sam Dede in movies since like back then in Sakaba or Winde. Yeah, I'll be putting their pictures on here in case you don't know who they are. I don't know who Alex Sifo Omiabo is, but another major person that I know is Olumide Oworo. He's a popular guy because he's on the TV show The Johnsons, and he recently ran for Labour Party State House of Assembly in Lagos. And then we have Shafi Bello, Sugar Mommy of Nollywood. You all know Shafi Bello. And then we have one of my faves, Ireti Doyle. We also had this guy, Ikechukwu. I really don't know his real name. His name is Ikechukwu. The singer though, that was also in Wedding Party 1. That was the drunk groomsman that was always causing chaos. I'll put his picture here. So these are the major people I saw in this movie. Let me do a rewind. Was there any other person? There were some people, but I don't know them by name. But yeah, so let's get right into the plot twist of this movie. So this movie was directed by Edith F. Young. And speaking of my friend doing that, I realized that he was someone that pushed the NSAS movement very, very well. So I kind of understood why the storyline kind of told around that. So let's get into the plot twist. So this movie basically centers around a single dad who has, channeled all his energy into raising his son, who is Olumide Oworu, and he's a Christian man, tries to raise his son in the ways of the Lord, but life keeps happening to him and his son. He loses his mother, the man loses his wife, the boy blames God for it, this whole police drama, harassing youths. So many reasons to not believe in God. Nigeria can be very, very overwhelming. So the boy wasn't very interested in going to church or any of those things. So he was a dreadlocked boy. If you live in Nigeria, you know that carrying dreads is first crime. Whenever they see that you're carrying dreadlocks, you are definitely doing something bad. And not just because we are, we have hatred for men that carry hair, but because of the stereotype caused by people that do cybercrime. More often than not, people that do cybercrime braid their hair. I mean, I grew up in Benin, kind of, and that's how they always are, with their weird hair and all of that. I don't have a problem with the hair, but it now became like a label. Just like when you see a girl that is not properly dressed in Nigeria, according to what people define as not properly dressed, you term her to be on the streets. Okay, so moving ahead from that, Olumide had dreadlocks, just for context. So summarily, Olumide was caught in the mix of mistaken identity, but a deliberate one, where they needed to replace someone that had been part of a kidnapping of a professor's daughter and husband, a professor that was, fighting corruption in Nigeria, and they wanted to shut her up. Kind of makes me feel like they're trying to talk about Dora Akunyili some kind of way, but moving on. So they had arrested one of the people that tried to kidnap the husband and the daughter, and they needed to remove him from prison cell and claim that he had escaped, and then they caught him and gunned him down. So they needed someone that looked like him because people knew he was dreadlocked and he was dark. So summarily, Olumide was wrong place, wrong time, and they took him, killed him, and refused to release his body. And his father kept trusting in God, and then he realized that maybe, just maybe, vengeance is mine, right? Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And since we are God's own ears, we might as well take vengeance into our hands a bit. And it turns out that he used to be one of the best assassins in the country before he decided to leave his old ways and follow the good life. Do you get me now? So this now triggered him because he had nothing to lose. And so he decided to go in and get his vengeance. So that's the plot twist. So basically, a father going to seek revenge on his son. So usually, I don't like to give people too many details. That when you go and watch the movie, when you watch this, you will not feel like you don't need to watch the movie. Because I need you to go watch the movie and tell me if my review is wrong or not on the book. So things I would like to highlight that I liked in the movie are the fact that the cinematography was good, the camera angles were great, but what was that with the guns? The guns, there was this part, I'll see if I can get a screen recording because it's kind of tough. There were parts in the movie where guns were just, being shot randomly, and it looked like people were just playing with the guns, they were just shaking their hands, and we were hearing go, 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 that mimicking gun sound, and it didn't even sink. And there were parts of the bomb blast, 2 bomb blasts that didn't make sense at all to me, when RMD decided to bomb his house because the bad guys were there and he needed them to not get any information from his house. The bomb, it looked like gas explosion. You know when your small gas do explode, but yet it was supposed to have crippled an entire building and caused a lot of damage. But the cinematics, is that the correct word? It was terrible, for lack of a better word. It was the most low-class bomb blast I've seen in my entire life. And I dare to say that Nollywood is doing so much better now, so I don't know why it did that in Black Book. And I hear that it was sponsored by a lot of people, so maybe you guys should rethink, because the bomb blast did not bomb. Then there was another part where a bomb blast was going to happen, and the guy comes and drops 2 buckets. And by some miracle, people know that there's a bomb blast. Good and fine, the bomb explodes, and all we see, no damage is done because they showed the bomb blast. We just see smoke, no damage is done, but the entire city is running. I've lived in Abuja for a while. In 2010, when the UN building was bombed, we felt it at home, kilometers away. Like the entire place shook, the mirrors cracked. So we're not children now. Come on, if you want to bomb somewhere, bomb it well. Maybe I don't know what I'm saying, Sha, but these are the 2 things that stood out for me that I didn't really like, because me, I'm all about making, reality. Oh, another thing that pissed me off, I was telling my friend Doya as well, that pissed me off in this movie was, I have a question first for you guys. when American movies are simulating, what actually happened, no, not really what happens in real life, or maybe what happens in real life, and they're using like the police department or the SWAT and all of that, they call them by their actual name. They'll say the LAPD. They'll say, okay, they'll highlight that they're corrupt people in the LAPD, but then they're also the good guys in the LAPD that always bring down the bad guys, And if they're talking about SWAT, there's always the good guy in the SWAT, the bad guy in the SWAT. But they use the official names that are used in their country, CIA, FBI, all of that. But here, we use the Nigerian Police Force, okay, correctly. But then we wanted to talk about SARS. Everybody knows it was SARS when we talk about, but they use SACS. I don't know the regulatory, I don't know why that happened, but I feel like we're a democratic nation. And if we wanna talk about stuff that are happening in the country, we can call out something bad and also point out that there's good people still there that stop these bad people from thriving. And that's what happened in the movie, because we had bad people in SARS, which they called SACS, and we had the police commissioner that refused to be bent by these rules of corruption, and she stood her ground and justice was served. So what is SACS? So you get international people watching this movie, because that's the whole idea, to get Nigeria on the world map. And then they come to Nigeria, maybe somebody stops the car and they're like, oh, is that the SACS guy? I saw it in the movie, the SACS. And you now have to go and do a whole explainer that no, in our country if we call the real name just because. Anyway, let me know if that is something that's not allowed, but I feel like they could have just used the real names. Nobody was saying anything about them per se. It was just an illustration of things that have happened for real, that we've seen with our eyes, that we've heard on the news, that the government has promised to fix. So it is all well and good. And I also like the way that they subtly hinted the October 20th incident by showing Sorosuke in the boy's bedroom after he died, showing that he was an activist and he fought against police brutality. Other than that, I don't think I found any other, dents in the movie. The movie was pretty much regular. Like, the storyline wasn't all that. The storyline wasn't all that, to be honest. It wasn't all that for me. I feel like it was just a regular Nigerian movie. A regular movie. Father loses son, goes for vengeance, and that's it. And he gets his vengeance and he disappears, and it was pretty basic for me. I mean, besides RMB looking sharp and looking hot, that was it. And he did some, some James Bond shit, But Black Book, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, people come for me. I think it was a 4.5. Based off, I had high expectations in the sense of the name. Like I said, I didn't see the trailer, but I just felt like the name, the Black Book, it would have been something, intense. Because I like action and, trailer movies and all of that. So if I was going to compare with all the movies that have come out this year, I wouldn't say this is the best movie that Nollywood has released this year. No offense, but they can do so much better with the storyline. Maybe more plot twists, more suspense. There was barely any suspense in this movie. Let me just put that on that one. Everybody was just dying anyhow, just like Game of Thrones. But the only thing is that, like Game of Thrones, because people that I didn't expect to die died. People that I expected to die didn't die, So there was no suspense at any point. It was like Richard Mofe-Damijo was invincible. Nobody could touch him, and then every other person was expendable. It was just a very just hero and villain extreme divides. I don't know how to explain it in English anymore, but there was no suspense in this movie. In fact, at the point I had to start fast forwarding because it was just the same thing. They would now, and what's crazy is, let me tell you guys something. Another part of this movie is that whenever there's a part that feels like something gang is gonna happen, they will increase the music, those kind of music, that music we're doing don 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 don, like something's gonna happen, and then nothing happens. You just hear somebody screaming, "Don't you ever call me again," or "Don't you ever look for me," and that's it. And that's why they made our blood pressure to go high, and then they brought it down. Nothing really happened. But so yeah, I think that Nollywood, like I always tell you guys, is doing so much better in the past years. I wanted to reference something. My friend and I were talking about this, and we talked about how we cannot be going backwards in terms of reference to the bomb blasting. Remember the times of Saint Obi, the maneuvers he used to do, and then we didn't even have a lot of, AI and all of that. It's 2023 now. At least I'm in the tech world. I know that AI can do so much for you. And if you edit that thing where the bomb blast is gonna bomb. Anyway, only God knows why they did it like that, but I just feel like a lot of things didn't add up. And the bomb blast, they feel like enough reason to pull away all the police protection to the bomb blast area. But correct me if I'm wrong. If it's a tiny bomb blast, they pull all the police units to go and cover it, police, military, and all of that. Anyway, guys, like I said, watch the Black Book for yourself. Like I always say, watch things for yourself, not because of the hype. So I watched it for myself, and this is my unpopular opinion. If you don't like it, it's also okay. Drop your opinion in the comment section. So for some people, this movie was a wow, and that's okay because we're human beings with different perspectives. Me, I have high expectations from Nollywood because I know that we can do so much more than we are doing. So maybe that's why I'm always like not tolerating basic. I want, or mediocre. I want the best. We can do better, and this can be better. Okay, so I think I'm basically done. I would have probably given more, stories in the movie, but like I said, I don't like to tell the story in my reviews because I want you to be able to watch the movie and not get too many spoilers. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment below, share with your friends, subscribe if you have not, and I will see you guys in my next one. Did I tell you guys who I am? Signing out is Debbie Obiorika, Akanchewa Badi1 of YouTube. Bye.